Alright folks, how are we? I am Shipwreck Sean, and this is episode 37 of my Sailwind series. I'm currently en route to Alchemist Island to pick up some snake oil for our journey up north. But before we get into the nitty gritty, I'm going to start this episode with something a little bit different. I encourage you to grab a coffee, a tea, or even a honey beer. Kick back, relax, and enjoy a wee musical interlude performed by my good friend Rory Campbell. I'll see you at Gold Rock, folks. Alright folks, well I hope you enjoyed that, something a wee bit different. That was North by Rory Campbell, a guy that grew up in the same hometown as me. He's probably one of the best singer-songwriters I know of. But I'll chuck some links in the description, including a wee link to his album Slow for a Poet, where that song's from. But anyway, the day is upon us where, if you hadn't guessed by the name of the song and the name of the episode, we're headed north. So I'm going to do what I did on my Eastern journey and get a bottle of wine to celebrate. We're going to head round. I've got a few things to update you with as usual, but I can kind of do that as we go. I'll also make a wee sail plan using the interactive map, not the charting kit. That's another thing I'll get into. fact, I'll just get into it now. Basically, I managed to get the charting kit to work by basically picking it up and clicking it on the map. But then when I exited out of the charting kit, I couldn't move the mouse. My mouse became frozen. So we're not going to play with that. At least not until it's been fixed or I can do some more jigging around off camera. So we'll be sticking with the interactive map. I'm starting to think that that wee comment that highlighted in my intro has actually got a point. My sail back from Alchemist Island, as I was sailing back, I decided to go for a wee nap. Woke up to a thunderous crashing sound again, and my boat was on top of a whale. So I saw all the cracks that we had at the start of the last episode, down to, I can't remember how much oakum I used. But then I didn't even get the chance to go to the shipyard and find out how much it cost because the entire game crashed. So, Moby Dick, I am coming for you. But anyway, we are off to Aestrin. But first, we're going to head to Oasis. So I'm going to take as many missions as I can to Oasis. And then we'll see if there's anything profitable to take up to... Does Oasis count as world? Ah, here we go. And then I'll see if there's anything profitable to take up north. But either way, we'll be buying all sorts of goodies at Oasis to make money from Fort Aestrin or one of the islands in the archipelago. I will probably do a quick edit to cover the sail from here to Oasis because you've seen me do that many times before. But let's see what we can get. Well, we can take some gems. Always good luck to have some gems on board. Is there anything else on offer? Some mail, of course. And that's about it. That's all the missions we're getting to Oasis. So let's see if there's any decent missions we can take up north as well. And then I'll check the ledger, see if there's anything. So mail to Fort Aestrin. Well, I think that's a no-brainer. What else do we have? I was considering Happy Bay because I'm going there next, but I don't know how many days I will be spending at Fort Aestrin because I'd like to... Sorry, rather the Aestrin archipelago, because I'd like to explore all the islands. Bananas. Okie dokie. That probably wasn't much of a moneymaker actually. I just clicked that out of sheer whim there. And salmon. Now, we've already taken one lot of stuff that isn't going to be that profitable. So, all in all, I think I'm quite happy with this as a start. Let's see if there's anything we can quickly trade to Oasis for a quick buck. So we're looking down here for profit. I'm just going to have a quick click through. Looks like goods. It'll be decent for a quick enough profit. Let's get a couple of those. Not looking like much in this page. Nope, nothing at all. I'm quite happy with what we've got already. I think that'll be a decent starter for us. And it doesn't look like there is anything at all. Page 1. Nope. Oasis is not a moneymaker from Gold Rock City, but that's alright. We already have everything on board that we need, but I'll show you that whilst we're underway. So what I'll do is I'll get everything on board and I'll be right back with you when we're en route to Oasis. Say goodbye to Gold Rock City, folks. It's going to be a wee while before we're back here. The plan is to hopefully hit all of the archipelagos that we haven't seen before, and of course the Emerald Isle again. But yep, kiss kiss, goodbye, you've been nice. You will notice that we did in fact get the chance to fix our jib situation. So we've now got both jibs, which I'm very happy with. Also, the really exciting part, let's check the wind. Our mizzen opens up. So, long time saviour of the channel, who gets a mention pretty much every episode for a good reason, pointed out that I had forgotten that I could resize things in the shipyard mod, and all I had to do was move the topsail gaff up the way a wee bit, and downsize it by about 10%. And we now have 2 fully working gaffs. All of our squares were fine already. So this is her in our final configuration before we consider maybe upgrading her when we get to Fort Aestrin. I mean, to be honest with you, I'd probably rather spend the money on a new ship over there for a bit of fun. I did toy around with the idea of getting the mizzen mast that's further forward of the rudder post so I could have the top mast. But for now, I'm quite happy. She's stable, she's balanced, and I'm quite keen. So I'm going to pop over to the interactive map and we'll make a sail plan. Okay, so the plan is, we have started day 1 here from Gold Rock City. We're just going to beeline straight up to Oasis, where we will finish our missions, and then we will see if we can purchase anything that's worthwhile, which I'm sure we'll be able to. I think there's plenty of spice there to be sold across the ocean. We'll then make a wee trip over to Mirage Mountain, because I would like to pick up that map, because the last update, 0.34, has included that in old saves. So I'd like that, even if it's just decoration for the sandbuck. Then we will head up to Saffron and basically spend any money we've got left on Saffron. And then from that point on, it's the full ocean sail. Most of this will be little quick edits. We'll get through this, for the first sort of half of this episode. And then we'll start sailing, and I'll make a point of editing a lot less so we can experience it all together. It's probably going to be a 2-parter, maybe a 3-parter until we get there. So that is very much the plan. Hopefully we can stick to the plan. Afterwards, I mean, the world's our oyster. There's mention of heading down to Happy Bay, potentially across the Rock of Despair, just for a bit of fun. Kronos is on my sights, but I might make that a wee special bonus episode in a dinghy if I'm feeling crazy enough. Then down to the Emerald Archipelago, down to Firefish Lagoon, and then back to Alank. I think that's going to take us quite a few episodes, but that's what the fun is. So yep, I'll be right back with you on the boat. Okay, so onboard updates, there's not really much. You've seen both the jibs, you've seen that the mizzen is fixed. We've increased our ungodly pile of bread, done a little bit of tidying around here. For some reason, oh yeah, I've also put this table up front because I like the idea of, it's not doing it anymore. Earlier on, I would just walk up to it and I would stand on it and it would work as a sort of stool, but it's not happening. Maybe if I remove this. Yeah, there we go. So we've got a wee stool to play around with. We're going to pop this somewhere so that we're not holding on to it all the time. The chip log. So I forgot to mention earlier actually, the shout out was obviously for coupling rhino. The chip log here, we're going to chuck in the water. We're going to run across here, kneel down, pop it here where we can. And now we have a speedometer that will just consistently show us our speed. We can't walk across this line, but that's all right. We can reach our bread. I've got no issues with that. I did notice that for some reason, when I went and stayed in the tavern and came back, one of my crates of fishing hooks just seemed to explode. So now I've got a bunch of random fishing hooks lying around. Let's see if I can dot this back on. We've got some cheese there. I forgot to buy more, but we've got plenty of sunspot fish. This might be rotten. Nope, this seems to be okay. Let's see. Yeah, let's get these finished up. I'm not sure why we're not getting the bar that usually tells you the condition of the food. I think my game's been having a bit of a flip out in the past couple of days. It's probably mod related. So that's the downside of installing mods, folks. But I'm sure the fun's going to be worth it. Let's make this look a bit nicer. Let's have one on each side. If it'll let me place. So that's just above that post there. On the inside. And then we'll put you symmetrically here. Place. And place. And I'm very much looking forward to trying that. That's not turned out very symmetrical. That's because I'm an idiot. So yeah, folks, I'm excited to give that a wee bash. We'll just chuck you here for now. And let's get ourselves turning up towards Oasis. Got to hold this for now. I'm just going to have her facing north. I'll open up the sails and then I'll fine tune to the correct angle. But it's always a easy sail to Oasis if you can get over the fact that for a wee while you won't see land in either direction. And this looks like it's going to be a good opportunity to get the squares out as well. So let's give this new baby a proper whirl. I'm not actually getting a very good angle on that main gaff actually, so I might just pull the main gaff in. That was an oversight, but with left now. The mizzen is now better than the main gaff, so we can keep her. Let's get our aft square down, which is now moved position from my other sandbuck and my other save. Here we go. Open up the... Here we go. Open up each end for them. Let's do the same for the main squares. And get those bad boys out. Very nice top out. And then I think we can let these jibs out quite a bit. From the opposite end. Here we go. And there we have it, folks. Let's get a wee view. We are off ski. I am liking the slightly off colour squares. But that's her, and if we want to just have a wee laugh, we can go fully rigged. Let's get the main square out. There we go. That's the important guy right there. How's that looking from up here? I'm never going to get bored of this. Look at all that linen. That'll do. Yep, I'm looking forward to this. She's very, very balanced. So as long as I can get my angles correct, then the sail should be no problem. Right, what was the exact angle to Oasis again? Alright, so from here, the exact angle is going to be just a smidgen west of north, so it's really not going to matter, is it? I am a perfectionist, so we will get her facing that way. Then I'll just drink some water, take a danger nap, and after the danger nap, I will edit right back in as soon as I can see Oasis, just so you can all get a wee peek. So I'll see you very soon, folks. Okay, so I'm starting to see the problem with the large sails. We have woken up to quite a hefty amount of bucket duty, but bucket duty has been upgraded to bilge pump duty. It looks like this water's going down, right? Fingers crossed. Nice. So the bilge pump does her job. But I think we're listing pretty heavily as a result of the squares. So I might reef those in just a touch. Can't really see much here. And in fact, I think it's worth getting rid of that gaff at the mizzen. And that seems to have made a wee difference. We have turned off course while sleeping. Pretty badly off course, actually. So let's turn ourselves and let's try and make up for it by going a bit more to the north. And then that's sorted our listing problem. And now we need to make a point of keeping an eye on this compass to see if we are indeed balanced at this point in time. First danger nap of the northern trip. Dangerous. Where's my spyglass? That's a good question, actually. Where is my spyglass? There we go. That's not the spyglass. And you pop. That's not the spyglass. There we go. Right, there's Gold Rock, so we're not going to be seeing Oasis for quite some time. But I'll get all the lights on. Let us have a wee peek at our fully lit, eh? Might as well. And we've got a spare lantern here. This is going to be my carrying a boot lantern. And there she blows. Although I'm not making any Moby Dick references after the pain I've experienced with whales so far. I did drop a bottle in the water and hear a slight crash. So I'm actually going to go and click the oakum and see if we're damaged at all. Nope, we took no damage, so that's good. Right, back to bed. Alright, as you can see, we are swiftly losing sight of Gold Rock City. Which means, another wee bit of sailing and we'll be close. We won't quite make out Oasis just yet, but the lighthouse is not far from sight. I moved some bananas up here because we seem to be a bit bow heavy, and I moved one set of bananas here because I had everything packed up here, which certainly wasn't helping, and I think I might do some more rejigging down here actually. I don't think the goods are particularly heavy. I can maybe keep them up front. Like so. And just centralise the heavier things. Our big heavy bananas. Thing is that spices are going to take up a lot of space, so we need to consider that as well. But once we've got kind of loads of spices down here, the weight distribution will be a lot better. But as you can see, we are new but goofing. We are sailing very nicely. It would appear that our mizzen square also has a lot better of an angle on it. Jeez, that's... I reckon I could close haul with that mizzen. So I'll do some adjustments. Let's have a wee think here. We're on a beam reach. Let's pull up that mizzen first of all, which is this one. I was just about to say, see, we're learning. This guy. Let's get rid of you for now. And we're going to pop our mizzen out to maybe about here. I'm going to pull in on our squares as well, just to centralise the mizzen. And I'm not actually sure if the forward squares even need to come in. Maybe they should for efficiency. I mean, the wind is still ever so slightly behind us, so I think I'll just trot along like this for a wee bit longer. But as I say, Oasis... Oh, wait. There we go, folks. What did I say? Oasis not far out of sight. See, it's easy when you've got a big, massive ship. Any beginners watching, it's not usually this easy. You usually have to panic a wee bit longer. But as soon as Gold Rock City's leaving your sight, just face north and go. And sometimes it's even better to wait until night time before you even look, because we probably would have seen that from further away. So I'll get myself docked and I'll be with you on the island. I almost forgot to say, folks, the little musical interlude was inspired by and also an homage to another Sailwind YouTuber called Swift Stellar Sojourner. I will put a link to his channel in the description, but I've been recently catching up on his series, and the most recent video I watched, he took the cog out to the Rock of Despair. So, in fact, no, he passed the Rock of Despair on the way to Kronos. Sorry, I almost undersold him there. So yeah, in other words, he is a madman. But yeah, another really, really great channel to subscribe to, and still quite small at this point in time. So let's help the guy out. Alright folks, so we have finally got to Oasis. I am nervous to be here, considering the damage this place cost me last time. But I think we'll be fine. It's just a one-off, right? We have completed our missions, which was our gems and mail to Oasis. So that's a tiny, tidy profit. We're going to sell off the goods that we have. I honestly beg Raw Lion to give us an option to put these in alphabetical order, because I can never remember where to find things. Goods. My goodness. There we go. Goods. Sell, sell. 4, 5, 6, 8. That's okay. So I think that should get us 2, maybe 3 lots of saffron, which I think is going to be the better and more profitable thing. But we're going to have a quick peek, see if anything's decent for Aestrin. Sculptures are decent, but heavy and, let's be honest, nowhere near as profitable as saffron's going to be. Marble seems to be quite good, but probably the same issue. Yeah, I'm thinking it's just going to be a saffron trip, to be honest with you. Sorry, rather saffron and spices. Let's just find spices straight away. So spices at 4 Aestrin. Yeah, that's pretty decent. It's going to cost 500 though, and I can't really remember how much saffron costs. Can we quickly check in here? See if I can find it. Saffron. See, it doesn't... So Saffron Island is not on any of the ledgers because they're isolationists. So it's going to be a bit of a guess. So do we take the spices or do we go for saffron? That's going to be a big question. I think it's worth, right? You might scream at me here, but it's maybe worth taking a couple lots of spices. And then if it ends up just being 1 saffron, that's fine. That's fine. 2 lots of spices. Grab the receipt for that. We've got 4,000 left for saffron. Let's chuck these on board. And then I'm going to spend the night in the tavern, which I am very nervous about, as I say, considering the fact that there's a chance I might wake up and the boat's underneath the pier. But it's a risk I'm willing to take for one more good night's sleep before the ocean crossing. There is no oh no, wait, there's a tavern at Mirage Mountain, but I certainly won't be stopping there. Can we fit these spices in front of the oranges? Yes, we can. So we've got our 3 barrels of water. I don't think we need any more than that. I think we're pretty good. So I'll go and spend the night, and then we will check some missions. I don't think there's anything left to buy around here. Any goodies? He has nothing except from barrels of water. We are running out of thirst, but that's okay because it will all replenish here. What I'm going to do though is just stock up on these water bottles. I should have emptied my inventory because extra water bottles are always groovy. And I'll go to sleep, maybe pick up another bottle of wine because my character has a bit of an issue. He's addicted to coconuts. And I'll be back with you to have a look at the missions. Well folks, we're on to a bit of winter here. I stayed the night, woke up, and the ship is still above the pier. So I'll take that as a sign that this ocean crossing is going to be good. I'm actually getting super nervous for this. As I say, it's my first time ever going to Aestrin. I wanted to do all these things on camera, so my reaction is genuine. So yeah, nervy times. I don't think I can put it off anymore. Let's check out the missions. World gold. That's a good start. Yeah, that's going to rake us in a good profit. Nice. So gold to Fort Aestrin. We can take some mail, which is always a no-brainer. Logs. Ooh. I am tempted, but I'm scared of the weight because I've already got bananas. Actually, the bananas are no... I don't even think the bananas were causing the bow heavy issue at all. So... we might go for logs. We might go for logs. 565. We'd be better off to go for bananas then, eh? It's a lot lighter. Let's have a look and see what else is there. Goat's cheese, 4 of those, which is half the weight. We're losing maybe about 60 crowns, but I don't think that's going to matter. Coconuts is heavier, but there's only 2 of them. Dates, well, I think that's certainly going to be worth it because they won't take up much weight and space at all. That'll keep us going nice and fast. Let's have a wee look at lamb. Oh, not enough reputation. Right, well, I've I've done us in there, so this is what we're taking. Nothing heavy. Let's grab this guy because I'm lazy. Make sure there's nothing lying around that I'm missing. You'll notice the save icon came up at the bottom there. That's because when I explained to you that coming back from Alchemist Island, the game crashed, probably because of a whale. That means we are not travelling with snake oil. So we're doing this like big boys. So as a result, I've set the save to save every, I think 15 minutes. Just because I don't want to experience that again. I don't want it to get halfway to Aestrin and then all of a sudden have to do everything. We could pretty much just put anything where we want now because it's all light stuff we're taking. Apart from the gold, that'll be quite heavy. Pop that in the centre. Oh, too heavy to sit on dates. Can I pop the gold round here? I'd like to sleep next to the gold. I wonder if it's so heavy it's going to... Nah, I don't think that would make us less. No way. If the sandbuck can manage logs, then I'm sure we'll be fine. Right, that's all the missions we'll get from here. I will certainly not be picking up missions at Mirage Mountain, but we will be taking a detour past there. So let's set off. Oh, good start. We will not be taking that as any sort of sign. And we're going to do things delicately. We're going to cheese ever so slightly because I do not want any damage. So I'm going to give her a little shove away from the dock before I set sail. The wind is behind us anyway, so we'll get out nice and easy with pretty much any sail we decide to go with. I'm going to straighten up the gaffs just because I like to start with everything square. And not forgetting our mizzen, which now has a way better angle than the main. There's always something on this channel, eh? Let's get a wee jib out. Now we're in our jib. We can let that out quite a bit on this side. I need to remember the inner jib's on top. On my other save, for some reason, the inner jib's on the bottom. Who knows? Who knows? And let's turn. I can't remember exactly what direction Mirage Mountain's in, but I'll just get us moving. And then I'll flip over to the interactive map and we'll have a wee peek. We are crossing the direction of the wind, so the jib has picked up on the other side. But we're just getting a nice wee turn for now. Lovely. And in fact, before I put out any sails, I reckon it's worth checking the interactive map so I don't have to go back on myself. Alrighty, here we are at Oasis. We're just probably about here. So to get to the north part of Mirage Mountain, we are going in between east, northeast and northeast. We'll get away with northeast, so just go, yeah, I think we'll manage that easy peasy. It won't take long before we see Mirage Mountain from here anyway. So we'll just jump straight back into it with no edit. And we're turning past the northeast direction now. So a little bit more of a turn. And we will have the wind behind us, so that means we're going for squares. Let's get the big square out. And you. Let's go for the mizzen square, and then we'll loosen everything up. Oh, is it this one? Nice. He's got it. The 2 main squares for each mast is on the port side. There we go. Now that I've said it out loud, there is no forgetting. Loosen up the sheets. so she can just do her own thing. She'll just be taking us there. And we'll get this guy out just for a bit of fun. Although always seems to be completely sideways, that guy. Oh, because the wind isn't directly behind us anymore. So, what do I want to do? I think this is okay, actually. Yeah, this is fine. Let's pull in our jib a little bit. And I'll just let her trundle along. Let's see, are we going in a good direction? We are going northeast, so turn it round to in between northeast and east-northeast. That might actually take us beyond the useful angle of the square sails. And it most certainly has. But we have a system now. Port side halyard. We're going to pull that in. Mizzen out. Once it's out, we will let out the sheet. So it's at more of a 45-degree angle-ish. Or a better angle for sailing. I was holding down shift there by mistake. Straighten up this square. And now we can do the same with the main squares. Main square up. And then main gaff up. Hello, Bonnie. The cat's coming to sit on my lap at a pretty testing time. Although it's been a while since she's made an appearance. I'm going to pop out the main gaff just a wee bit. I'll do some balancing once I have straightened up the squares. And now we can take in our top square. And then last, but certainly not least, we will get our outer jib. And the outer is the cleat below. Just like that. I think they can both come in a wee touch. And now we are sailing. Ain't she lovely? I'm just holding a wee pause on that for a thumbnail, of course, which I probably should have done during all my little edits, but here we are. So I'll be back with you folks when we're at Mirage Mountain. Oh folks, this is never going to get old. Up the crow's nest. Spotted land. You're going to have to wrestle me back down here when we discover Aestrin, let me tell you. I'm actually tempted to have a wee walk around Mirage Mountain as well when we get there, because apparently there's been some updates there. So I might do that as well, just to pass a bit of time. But we'll see when we get there. Alright folks, so we're getting pretty close. All the lights are off because I was struggling to see the land. I didn't want to crash into it. I reckon I'm just going to pull up the sails and anchor off, and I'll just swim across, see if I can find the building. I am armed with a lantern, and I'll also take a bottle of water. In fact, I've got some spares here that I'd like to get through first. We need to take up the mizzen, or bring it down rather, and that's all the sails up apart from this jib here. Up she goes. I am going to leave a lantern on the ship. In fact, well, this one's too low, just so I can find it in case I'm swimming back in the dark. As you can probably hear, that's the anchor dragon. There's a lot of line on that anchor. Oh. Oh. Oh, that was a close one. Okay, so we are beached at Mirage Mountain. Oh, shit, boy. I'm glad I stopped when I did. Right, now this is going to be interesting. I think I saw something over here. There we go, this is the one. Right, this is the moment. Woo! Okay, nice. We now have the secret map. And it's... I don't know what I expected, you know, but I suppose, I mean, you've got the Oasis lighthouse, pointing northwards in the middle. A line between the lighthouse and S, I'm guessing that's to signify the river at Mirage Mountain. And then a couple lines, I'm guessing to say that's about twice the distance to then get to Saffron Island. But we now own this, and I'm very excited about that. And even though it's not the most beautiful thing we've seen in the world, I'm going to display it very proudly. Thank you very kindly, Raw Lion. It is the tiny things that get me excited. I did say I was going to flirt with the idea of exploring Mirage Mountain, but no, I think we'll just go straight to Saffron. And I will hope that we don't destroy the ship on this sandbank, because there ain't no shipyards for at least... I've heard all sorts of numbers. Some people have said, I think the lowest is 6 days it will take me. Some people have said 7, 8, 9. So I'm going to go for maybe 7 or 8 since it's me. So 7 or 8 days we should be in Aestrin. All goes to plan. So I'm just going to push us out, get all the lights on, check the angle of sail. Oh, we did just hit something there. Oh no, I think it's the booms. We're okay. Right, let's get the lights on. Those booms crashing are a scary sound. There we go, fully lit. We can turn this guy off. In fact, I'll keep this guy on. I like the wee table lamp. I've got plenty of candles. I never bought any spare lanterns actually. But, you know, we'll survive. Even if we have to cut down on a couple of lanterns on the crossing. It is currently 1 in the morning-ish, so it's going to be a wee while before light is back, but I think that works out perfectly for light reaching us in time for seeing Saffron. The wind is behind us. Let me go and check the compass. I believe for Saffron, well, what does it say on the map actually? We want to be going east-northeast. Yeah, we're not going to use the interactive... Oh, actually, maybe I should. Nah, screw it. We're not going to use the interactive map. We're going to do it as the game was intended. So we're going to turn to face east-northeast. Sorry, north-northeast. Correction. I like it when I catch the corrections in time, so I don't have to make that a pinned comment. There we go. Right, get ourselves pointing in that direction. The direction of the wind, which we'll just use the telltales for, is behind us. So I think we'll go for the squares. Now I do have a wee bit of trouble balancing the squares if I'm sleeping. But that's just something I'll get used to. I'm not actually used to sailing with squares that often. At least on their own. So it's all learning. But we can say goodbye to Mirage Mountain for now. And hello to our lovely new map. Right, all squares out. And it looks like she is turning to port with the squares out. It might be just because we brought them out. We have no jibs out. Let's get our outer jib on the go. Can't see much, it's a bit dark. I believe it's going to be worth letting that jib out a bit, even though we can't see. Just to ensure it catches a bit of wind. We can chuck you off for now. And we'll get you off. And you off. And there we go. We've created a little bit of a vibe. So I am scared to take a danger nap because it has given me a wee bit of trouble. You didn't see it because I made a quick edit, but when I went to sleep leaving Gold Rock City, I woke up and I was going northwest, so that's fun. But we'll take a wee danger nap because I don't want to leave it any longer because Saffron's easy to miss. So I'll be back with you in the morning. Alright folks, we have woken up. We're still heading roughly in the right direction. We have turned ever so slightly northwards. So I'll just correct that for us. Last time I got really lucky. I fell asleep and just woke up right next to Saffron. So I don't want to be completely overconfident here. So I think it's a good excuse, not that I need one, to fire up here. Can we still see Mirage Mountain? We can. We can just make Mirage Mountain out there. And we're not actually going to get to look in front of us as a result of the top square. So let's do something about that. Hopefully the jib's not going to get in the way as well. There's a chance it will. I'm certainly not seeing anything with the forced perspective. Let's just be ballsy and bring up the jib for now. Just sail with a couple of squares just so we can get vision. As you can see, she is turning eastward as a result, but that's okay because we'll fix that when we're back down. So north-northeast. I'm certainly not seeing anything that resembles Saffron. Okay, I'm starting to get nervous. I'm going to consult the interactive map. Okay, so I think we crashed into here. I estimated that I would end up here. But nope, we got very close to wrecking here. Almost ruined the entire excursion. To get to Saffron from here. Yeah, okay. So just a smidge north of northeast. So even the fact that we turned a bit whilst we were sleeping has actually probably benefited us. So I don't think we're off course. Let's get that jib back out. And straighten us back up again. And actually she's held course pretty well. So I'm pretty chuffed with that. So I'm just going to trundle along. And as always, I'll be back with you when I can see Saffron. Or if I've decided that I've completely sailed past Saffron. But surely not. Surely not. So you'll be in the edge of your seats, but I'll be back with you in just a second. You seeing this, folks? I swear to God, Moby, yep, that's right. Keep going in that direction. Oh, okay, that's a list and a half. Strong winds. Still no sight of Saffron. I just wanted to show you the whale. And then a little bit of panic, I guess. We have turned ever so slightly north. Let's fix that. As you can see, I've brought out the gaffs. So if we've turned north, that would tell me there's a bit too much wind catching our mizzen. So I'm going to let that out a wee touch. And I'm just going to allow her to list like this. It's a bit of fun, it's a bit of speed. And we have our bilge pump. Oh, yeah boy. Okay. We definitely need to keep an eye on this. It's a good thing we've got this. I've never seen the boat this full. I didn't learn my lesson last time, obviously. But, I mean, we're speed freaks here. The shipwreck's on. That's what we want. Right, I'm just going to come up these stairs and see Saffron, right? Nope. Can I still get a view on Mirage? Oh, that was a close one. Which is going to be... Okay, we've lost sight of Mirage. I don't know what that means. I've not done this sail too many times. So... hopefully we see Saffron soon. And I'm hoping it stays daytime long enough to see Saffron as well. Because I think I'm going to be pretty screwed in the night time. But I'm just keeping my eyes peeled. And if we've missed Saffron, it's going to make the sail a lot more interesting. Because we're going to have to completely guess our starting point. So that's fun. keep your fingers and toes crossed, folks. I tell you what, folks, I was starting to really doubt myself, but there she is. There's Saffron Island. Now, before I took a second danger nap off camera, I decided I'm going to change the save to only on game quit. And then I pressed quit game, and for some reason it didn't save. So I have now sailed all the way from Mirage Mountain again, panicked again. But this time all it took was balancing a bit better, and just sleeping. So yeah, I'll be right back with you when we are on land. Alright folks, here we are, back on Saffron. Almost didn't think we were going to make it. Forgot to check what time it is, and I probably should have kept some inventory space clear, just in case I'd like to pick up any random bits of water, food, bits and bobs like that. I'm tempted for another plant, of course, but it's not strictly necessary. I think we're going to take that, and we're definitely going to take you. And then the moment of truth is, how much saffron can we buy? Well, I forget we can buy salmon as well. But let's see, saffron is going to cost 1551, so we could have got a couple more, or at least one more barrels of spice, but that's okay. This is saying we're going to basically lose all of the money. I have been told by reputable sources, Coupling Rhino, that saffron will make me quite a lot of profit over at Aestrin. It's not really appearing that way at this moment in time. We'll at least get a little bit of profit at Aestrin Abbey. So we're just going to go ahead and take it all. You never know, maybe the economy has changed by the time we get there. But we came here for a reason, and that was for saffron. So I'll load up the ship, and I will contemplate another plant, since we've got a wee bit extra money now. Let's get you piled up there. Let's also drop the inventory. I like to drop the spyglass on the bread so it doesn't roll away. You know, big gamer brain. Chop that up. And save a wee bit of cheese for later. And we can drop you. And any swigs left to you? One swig. Yeah, a decent amount. We're a wee bit hungry, so we'll maybe buy some more cheese over there to eat on land. We're going to make the most of our last bit of land. What is that? Oh my word. Well, there's a storm coming, and the wind is blowing it perfectly in my direction, which is going to be a laugh. We might have to go quickly here. Oh my word. So this is exactly how I expected this to start. Let's take this random bit of bread. Okay, plants, it'll have to be another time. Let's grab our saffron and go. Oh my god, I don't think we're outrunning this storm at all. And I don't fancy the massive squares in the storm as well. But this will be a good time to test it. Right, anchor up. We'll get a jib out. And in fact, I should really double, triple check exactly what direction I want to be going in. So as soon as I've got this anchor up, I'm going to pause, and I'll be with you on the interactive map. Any minute now. That's a long anchor line. The rain is getting... Right, there we go. Cool. I'll see you on the map. Alright, so here we are at Saffron. I can delete you. I can add you in to about here. And to go from Saffron all the way... Fort Aestrin is where we're aiming for. It's a good place to aim for because it is in the middle. Although that says that's a mountain. So that's going to be spottable. The mountain is just a smidgen north of northeast. And then Fort Aestrin is sort of just above northeast. Yeah, I don't think northeast is going to cut it. I think that's a wee bit too sketchy. I think we need to flirt maybe just 5 degrees south, between 5 and 10 degrees, sorry, north of northeast is what we're going to get away with. It's not going to be very accurate using the compass. Let's just double triple check. But yeah, now we have a general direction to go for. Let's go. We're going north. We are actually doing it. But we need to sail out first. Let's get the big jib. There we go, that's done it. And let's swap out a bottle. Let's just get rid of that. I'm going to pop this in my inventory just for now. Right, so that's roughly the direction we want to be going in. If we do that, the wind will be behind us. Let's get the squares out. We're just going to risk the squares for a bit of fun. I need a little bit of sleep, but I'm happy to be on bilge duty whilst we try and outrun this storm. I also need to let out the sheets. Oh, I think we might do it, you know, because we've got a pretty fast vessel. Not this time. Nope, raw lion, you're not getting me. No, wrong side. Bad sailor. Oh, I can hear the storm. Okay, no panic. We're good at this. We know what we're doing. It's going to get dark and scary, so lights on. What's our direction? We've veered ever so slightly. And so it begins, folks. A lot of you guys watching are avid Sailwind players, and you're thinking, what the hell are you making such a fuss about? Cast your minds back to the first time you did this. That's on 2%, we need to replace that soon. And if you cast your mind back to how you felt then, that's how I feel. And if you felt confident then maybe it's a Sean thing. But I am nervous, I am terrified, I'm excited. I am all of the above, really. Storm is closing in on our port side. Right, now it's just a matter of balancing. Might be worth getting the second jib out. Especially if we're turning to port. It doesn't look like we're turning. I'll go and drop this bread. Let's get rid of our goods and I'll come back and check again. We don't necessarily need to eat or drink right now. Here's a bottle of water. Pop you here. Here's one that's almost empty. Right, let's drop this off the back for like an extra 0.0001 knots of speed there. And speaking of, let's get our chip log on the go, because I want to see how fast she goes in a storm, if the storm does indeed reach us. We are hitting 11 now. Oh, that is definitely... Oh, that's above 12. Okay, if you argued with me hitting 12 in the last episode, there's no arguing with that. We're holding course okay. Right, I think that's pretty much... No, we need to be just a smidgen north of northeast, don't we? We can't get too close to northeast. I don't really trust my celestial navigation anymore. That lantern's gone out. So we need to go down below. Flick the light on. There doesn't appear to be any water. Grab a candle. Lights off. I am a frugal Scotsman. Head to our lantern up forward. Pop you in, turn you on. Smashing. We are now sailing north. It is not the time for a danger nap. We're going to just see what this storm does to us. Let's start hacking into this. Oh, what's happened there? Oh, that's fine. Just the chip log being funky. There we go. I was just trying to nom myself through a few slices of bread. But I think we've absolutely wrecked this storm. Sorry, devs. Next time. You're not getting me this time. Wee smidgen east. I think we might be turning ever so slightly to port, but it's really hard to tell with the sea state at the moment. I'm going to get out our second jib and just see what that does for us. Again, we can't see it, but from what I can see, that looks okay. She feels balanced. Right, okay, how do I want the saves to be? I would like them to be at this point. We could always recover. So at this point, I'm going to set it to every 15 minutes until I'm a bit more confident. And then I don't think I'll set it to sleeping. Not until I'm totally sure that I'm good enough at balancing this new rig. I don't know if you can hear that, but for some reason when I'm hovering over something in the inventory, it's like... Oh, it's not doing it now. It's like when you ask your parents to watch you diving in the swimming pool. I don't know why. I'm just panicking, talking out loud. Okay, let's turn that light on. The more lights on, the less scared I am. Stand in the middle. Yeah, still going a bit east. So do we reef in this square a wee touch? See if that does anything. Sorry, when I say east, I meant to port. Again, panicking. No, this is okay to me. There's that clicky noise I was talking about. Mum, look at me jumping in the pool. Oh, scary. Scary, scary. We're missing one light. The storm is like right here. It is right behind us. We are truly racing it. We've lost our speed. I think that's what happened to the chip log. It just brought itself in. I don't know if it does that automatically after a wee while, or if it just kind of glitched there. But let's pop that back. Oh, did that hit 14 for a second? Oh no, it's just popped right back in. Not sure what's going on. Maybe the sea's a bit too rough. But let's watch it from here. I want to see, because that looked like we were approaching 14 knots. Well, that was definitely 13. I think it's just the sea state is so bad that the end of the chip log is coming in and out of the water. Yeah. But I'll take that. 13. For sure. I'll go back, zoom in, enhance CSI to see if we did hit 14. Direction's good. I think I'm ready for my first danger nap, and it's going to be a biggie. It's going to pretty much set the tone for the rest of the voyage. Oh, right, okay. If I set it to save at 5 minutes, perhaps I will wait until our first save. No, where's the fun in that? No. Save when sleeping. We're committing. I'll quickly check, see if there's any water in the bilges first. There is not. Turn off any excessive lanterns to save on candles. Like so. And it's time for a danger nap, folks. I'll see you when I wake up. I'm not sure what state I'm going to be in or what state the boat's going to be in. But I will see you when I wake up. We're already going off balance, but that's okay. We're committed now. Alright, folks. So we did actually wake up a few times. The game woke us up, I think, for bilge duty. So that's actually a nice little feature if that's true. If not, I got quite lucky because every time I woke up, the bilge wasn't as full as it was when I was listing, but it was relatively full. The third time I woke up, we had blown off course. We were heading north-northeast rather than where we want to be going. But all in all, for 3 danger naps in a row, I'm pretty happy with that. So I'm going to get fed and watered. However, that'll be that for this episode. Now that we are officially heading north. I didn't want to get to the end of the episode at Saffron, for example. So call it a day here, folks. Going to control the storm whilst I speak. Call it a day here, folks, and I'll be back with yous next time. Thank you very much for joining me. I've been Shipwreck Sean, and cheerio.